real polar bears are right around the corner.
A male. Male.
What? They can't. They won't eat you. Don't worry. They only like to eat things that are really, really fat. So you're safe. These are like seals. Fish. So over here we have our male, and then on the two sides we have two females. So this really big guy up top, his name is Kalluk, and he actually has a twin sister who lives here. She's way over there. And then this other female, she's not related to the other bears. She's kind of like Kalluk's girlfriend. They get together sometimes and...
She's older, right?
She's older, yeah. She's a little bit older than the other two. So you can see that in here they don't have a ton of, you know, seal meat or a bunch of meat everywhere. They have a lot of fruits and veggies. So some sweet potato on the ground, some lettuce over here. They also get lots of carrots and melon. The reason our bears have a bunch of healthy food is because we want them to stay nice and trim. So they're kind of like on the San Diego diet. So living outside here in San Diego can get a little bit hot. So we don't want them to get really fat because that would make them overheat. So they stay kind of skinny for a polar bear skinny. They're still huge. So they don't get too hot during the summertime. If they do feel hot though, they have lots of options. We have really cold water in the pool. You can feel the glass, it's about 55 degrees. They also have snow machines over here. And then their bedrooms have air conditioning. So they always have options if they feel too hot. We want to make sure they stay nice and comfortable in our weather. You can see Kalluk. He's about twice the size of the female. So he makes her look a little bit small right now, although she's still really, really big. She's about 650 pounds on average, and he's almost double that, about 1,200 pounds on average. With the polar bears, they can lose 100 pounds, and it's really not a problem. So if they, you know, weigh them on a scale, and they're down 100 pounds, it's kind of like whatever. It's like a human losing like 2 pounds. No big deal. So their weight can fluctuate. They have lots of different toys compared to the pandas. You see, these are reindeer antlers. They love to smell them and chew on them and kind of just bat them around. And then they also have, on the flip side, they have a lot of similar toys as the pandas. They'll get big plastic balls and they'll get the same canvas bag. One of my favorite things about polar bears, if you look at them, look at his nose, and his nose is black, right? All of the skin is black. A lot of people think they're white, but they have black skin underneath, helps absorb heat in the Arctic where they live. And their fur, although it looks kind of like creamish, white, yellow, it's actually clear. Yeah, if you just take one hair, it looks clear. But when you take a bunch of hairs and put them together, it makes them look this kind of white color. And so when you see polar bears on TV, they get photoshopped, just like people in magazines. This is a true polar bear, kind of dirty. It's a real polar bear.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you lined up like plastic bottles and you put like 5 in a row and you look through it, it's going to, the color starts to diminish from see-through to almost like a light tint color. Now by looking at this 1,200-pound animal, you would think that they can bite down really strong, right? So do you guys think this bear could bite down stronger than a panda bear?
No.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, so this bear can bite down roughly at around, I want to say about 1,200 pounds per square inch. A panda can bite down at roughly 1,500 psi. And just to put that into perspective, a lion could bite down at about 700. So a panda could bite down twice the strength of a lion. But yet still people want to go in and cuddle our pandas. Yeah, it's like a fiber optic, so it's translucent. It not only helps to refract light, but it also acts very similar to a double pane window. So it actually traps air inside of the hair to keep the cold from actually making contact with their skin. So it's also an insulator. These guys are going to eat similar to the carnivore diet. It's called analog, and it's basically like a tuna mix with almost like dog food in it. And then, yeah, it does. Yeah, it looks like tuna. Yes, exactly. It does. Yeah. And then on Sundays, I believe these guys also get rabbits. But like Zach was saying, their primary source of food is going to be produce. Yeah, and that's going to keep them on the lighter side. So to keep them at about 1 inch thick of blubber instead of 3 inches thick of blubber, we don't starve them. We just provide them with more produce than fatty meats. Because in the wild, these guys are going to be eating mainly green seals, which are going to have that high fat content. So not only keep them inflated, but it also helps keep them very buoyant for swimming long distances.
Want to guess how long a polar bear can swim without stopping? Guesses?
10 days.
That's a little much. we estimate about 60 miles.
Yeah, about 60 miles off the main.
Yeah, so
no, on the top of water.
Yeah. So their scientific name means water bear or marine bear. So they're considered a fully marine animal, just like a whale or a sea otter or a dolphin, because they get all their sustenance from the ocean and they spend a lot of time there. Unfortunately, what's happening in the Arctic now is the ice is, disappearing. It's melting earlier, not forming as strong. So the polar bears are having to spend more of their energy swimming than finding food. Although they can swim 60 miles straight without stopping, they can't do that every day. It'd be a lot easier to swim 30 miles and take a break and then swim 30 more miles the next day. So what we are doing to help is we're trying to identify places where we can help the bears by setting up these floating platforms in the wild so that they can take a break and hopefully get some energy up to continue swimming out to other patches of ice to find their food. The reason that they hunt for seals on ice is because that's where seals will breathe. They'll create little holes and then they'll come up for a breath of air. A polar bear can smell that seal taking a breath of air from about a mile away on the ice. Yeah, it's incredible. But no ice means harder to find their food. For the polar bear, they are a bear, so they will adapt. It's not necessarily the polar bear as a species going extinct, but it's their habitat, which will have unprecedented, even unknown damage and cascading effects on other species. The polar bear, like you guys can see, they eat whatever. They're going to adapt. They'll live on land, but a lot of other animals will not be able to adapt. But since polar bears are really cute and everyone knows what they are and they love them, they're a great kind of spokesperson or spokesbear for conservation of the Arctic.
Poster bear.
Poster bear, that's a good one. If you guys are ready, we can start heading back to our carts. Round up the little ones. Ready?
Yeah, we just have these. And in the wild, it'd be very unusual to see. These guys just kind of get along. Actually, one of them is brother and sister, and then the other. This is his brother and sister, and then this is his girlfriend over here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Actually, the best time to come to the zoo throughout the year is on
They love to put different so in the wild, they might find
yeah, you can tell people on reading it. It's the best. I'm working on here.
They'll actually put it all over their bodies.
Yeah, just like this. Right. Oh yeah. Have a good day, guys. You too. Okay, you guys ready? All right.
Oh, yeah. Sadly, people still hunt polar bears.